Straight ahead on WBKB, Michigan is starting to ramp up vaccinations.
Plus, the tax man cometh, but he's delaying his trip, and a local park could receive a facelift.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. A walk-in vaccination clinic was held at Alpena Mall today.
District Health Department number 4 says 435 vaccinations were administered to residents of Alpena, Presqu'Île, Montmorency, and Sheboygan. Residents 60 and older who struggled to make an appointment online were welcome to walk in and receive their shot. This clinic comes at a time when Michigan is beginning to ramp up their vaccine efforts. Starting Monday, March 22nd, vaccine eligibility expands to any resident 16 and older with underlying conditions that put them at risk. On April 5th, all Michiganders over 16 will be eligible to get their shot. Today, Governor Whitmer spoke about the increased efforts in the state's vaccination process.
It is picking up speed and getting smoother, and we are rolling here in Michigan. The vaccine train has officially left the station, and it's moving toward our shared destination of vaccinating 70% of Michiganders 16 and older.
Michigan State Police arrested an Alpena man for possession of methamphetamine. On Sunday, MSP was called to a residence on Wellington Township. The homeowner had found a bag with money and 2 small bags of a substance that later tested positive for meth. Police say the bag was left there by 30-year-old Gregory Thomas Robinson, the resident's neighbor. Robinson said he owed the neighbor money and did not realize there was meth in the bag. Robinson was arrested and lodged in Alpena County Jail. His next scheduled court appearance is April 7th at 2:30 p.m. Also says an Oscoda man was arrested for an OUI and possession of meth. 25-year-old Alexander Logan Burns was stopped in Roscommon after failing to yield for an emergency vehicle. Police say Burns showed signs of intoxication and was arrested after sobriety tests. Officers seized a glass pipe with white residue from the vehicle as well as a loaded syringe. Burns was lodged in the Roscommon County Jail and arraigned Wednesday.
Alpena's Culligan Plaza may soon receive a long overdue makeover. The city plans to put in more tables, fill in the sunken level where the water fountain sits, and take out the large planters. One goal is to make the park more ADA accessible. Mayor Matt Walagora says it's time, as the park has been in disrepair for many years. The upgrades are estimated to cost close to $300,000. The city plans to give $50,000 and ask for a $150,000 grant. The remaining funds will come from different community partners. The Alpena County Sheriff's Office says they've promoted Sergeant Christina Benarski to jail administrator. Sergeant Benarski is one of 6 candidates who interviewed for the position. She was hired in 2015 as a corrections officer. Benarski graduated from Wayne County Regional Police Academy. She has served as a liaison officer at Thunder Bay Junior High School and also a DARE instructor. The Alpena County Road Commission advises drivers that beginning today, the traffic light at the intersection of Long Rapids Road, Bagley Street, and Genshaw Road will be placed in flash mode. This is to allow for more efficient travel throughout the detour route for the duration of the Bagley Bridge closure. This is expected to last 8 months.
Alpena Public School parents still have a chance to get information on the asbestos abatement plan. The school district has posted an 11-minute video presentation online given by Nova Environmental about the asbestos abatement work scheduled at several elementary schools, Alpena High, and the central office. The video includes an overview of the work, timeline, and safety measures. The presentation is a way to help alleviate any anxiety individuals may have concerning the asbestos work. And we will have a link to the video posted on our website.
Michigan's Henry Ford Health System says it's performed the state's first ever double lung transplant on a woman who contracted COVID-19. 31-year-old Jackie Dennis says she is thankful for her life after her January 16th transplant. Dennis was diagnosed with COVID-19 in November while 35 weeks pregnant. Days later, she was induced into labor and then developed pneumonia. Her lung function worsened to the point where she was placed on a ventilator. After months of recovery and rehab, Dennis and her baby girl are doing well. That's great news.
Absolutely. Former Governor Rick Snyder lost a motion to have criminal charges against him dismissed. In January, a grand jury indicted Snyder on 2 counts of willful neglect of duty for his role in connection to the Flint water crisis. Attorneys for Snyder requested that charges be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction and improper venue. The judge denied the defense's motion, saying it lacks merit.
If you've been worried about filing your federal income tax for 2020, this may also be some good news.
For sure. The IRS says it's extending the deadline from April 15th to May 17th. The IRS made the announcement earlier today, that is. They say taxpayers can also postpone tax payments to May 17th without penalties and interest, regardless of the amount owed. The postponement applies to individual taxpayers, including individuals who pay self-employment taxes. You can find more information on the IRS website.
More news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, one Alpena High School program receives a collection of awards. Stay tuned.
Temperatures are going to move in when we can expect highs getting well into the 50s. I'll have that coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. I'll sure be holding on to my hat later. Alpena High School's DECA program received quite a few awards yesterday. 10 AHS students were recognized for their hard work this year in the Michigan DECA State Conference Award session on Wednesday. The recipients are on your screen, and the categories ranged from apparel and accessories to integrated marketing campaigns. DECA is part of Alpena High School's career and technical education program, and they compete each year for state and national level awards. Congratulations to this year's winners.
That's very nice. Yeah. Well done. In health news, is your child's screen time the root of emotional problems and a link between cardiovascular problems and memory issues? Elise Preston has some of the day's top health stories.
Heart health in your 20s and 30s could play a huge impact on your brain health later. According to a study in the American Academy of Neurology, people who have cardiovascular issues such as high BMIs or live with diabetes and high blood pressure in early adulthood are more likely to encounter cognitive decline as they age. Elderly patients who have recovered from COVID-19 are at greater risk of getting the virus again. In a new study, Danish researchers discovered while most COVID-19 victims were protected from reinfection within 6 months, people over the age of 65 were only protected less than half of the time. And doctors warn too much screen time could lead to behavior problems in small children. Hyperactivity, short attention span, and poor peer relationships are just some issues researchers say children under 5 face when they spend extended periods of time on phones, tablets, or video games. Data shows screen time has tripled for young children in recent years. Doctors recommend no more than 1 hour a day for preschoolers. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Coming up on WBKB News, Ellie.
Trying to sniff. Thank you, Karen, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
Right when those poor deer were getting used to grass. Yeah. Sports is coming up next, but first, Matt Dazinski is here with a preview. Matt, what's going on tonight?
Thanks, Tyler. Coming up next in sports, I'll reveal the top play of the week. Plus, we have a preview ahead of Michigan State's first 4 game against UCLA that is set to take place.
Welcome back. Ringo Starr debuts new music featuring pandemic technology, and Catherine McPhee finds some country comfort. Danya Bacchus has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Catherine McPhee stars as Bailey, an aspiring country music singer who meets Bo, a handsome widower and cowboy played by Eddie Ciprian, in the new Netflix series Country Comfort.
Our mama died 2 years ago.
No, I'm so sorry.
Bailey agrees to play nanny to Bo's 5 kids while she tries to jumpstart her career and finds comfort when her musically talented charges give her a new outlook on life. Country Comfort streams Friday on Netflix.
I love my wife. She loves me. I enjoy her company. And I am never going to apologize for that.
But everyone else resents this couple that has been living in the honeymoon stage for 14 years in the rom-com Happily. Things turn dark when a mysterious stranger shows up trying to change Tom and Janet's idyllic life, then winds up dead. Joel McHale and Carrie Bichet co-star as the happy husband and wife. Happily is available on demand tomorrow. And Ringo Starr is taking advantage of Zoom technology in his new album called Zoom In. The former Beatle recorded the 5-track EP at home during the pandemic. Paul McCartney, Dave Grohl, Sheryl Crow, and the Black Pumas are among more than a dozen musicians guest starring on the project. Zoom In is released Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's all we have for you this evening.
You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.